Welcome everybody to the Red Hot Racing League, brought to you by Circle B Diecast. I'm Glixen with Dark Abyss and K Harvick fan. The same old booth, ready for a new track this week. At least for this league, it's new since it'll be our first time coming to it. It's Kansas, where the high side prevails. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing the trucks go around the outside instead of the inside here at Kansas. It ought to be a fun one. Talent is going to be pushed to the limit here, especially riding inches away from the wall. Anything can happen. And Abyss, I'm going to pass it to you as you give us our Circle B diecast starting lineups here tonight.
Thank you, Gavin. Here we go, boys. This is my home track, so I'm excited for this race here today. Starting at the rear, it is a Jay Royster. Right next to him, it is the Ideal Fungus, then JGR Fan, then Rise, Drew, Track Bar, Foreign Fuel, Legend, Haha Boog, Lord Billis. And whose name is this? How do you say this name? I saw this name. Is that Yeti? Zenzitsu. Okay. Yeti is in 11th. And here's the top 10. Bond is in 10th. Okay, Sideways is 9th. T-Glass is 8th. Material Zero is 7th. Air Just Cause is 6th. Graham Cracker is 5th. Fabico is 4th. Trippy is 3rd. Mr. Slide Job is 2nd. And the man leading us to green is Asylums. But now let's go over to the point situation going into today. Let me make sure I got it right. Right now, Asylums is looking pretty comfortable with a gap of 47 points above the cut line. Mr. Slide Job is only 27 points above the cut line. Gamers is only 20 points. Graham Cracker is in the last position, only 19 points above 5th place, which is the Beco Gamers. And the race that I think we're all looking for tonight is to see how Trippy Trick seems to say he's packing it in for tonight's race. So that's going to be interesting to see what he's going to do. Air Just Cause is 68 points behind, and Foreign Fuel is a very shocking 108 points behind 4th place. Gavin, this is going to be an interesting race at Kansas when it comes to the playoff, guys.
Yeah, it will, and I can't wait to get down there to see what the drivers have in store for us tonight. Kansas, a track I haven't been to in a while on the Heat games. I don't think I've even probably raced a Kansas race on NASCAR Heat. I can't remember if I have or not, but it's been a hot minute to say the least. But we'll see how these drivers can handle this track here, as the outside does prevail extremely well compared to the inside. And if I'm not mistaken, this race can come down to fuel at times. I know it did in the past. In Heat 4, it definitely did at some points, but hopefully that isn't in the schedule for tonight. Would love to see a race where drivers just throttle down and go to the wall here and race as quick as they can. And Kevin, I know you're interested to see where some guys fall tonight. Let me know, Kevin, what do you think the keys are here tonight, and what are tires looking like? Are drivers losing tires in practices and qualifying sessions, do you know? And how's the fuel looking for these guys? We need
obviously, sorry, I'm trying to finish up a couple of last minute things, but obviously, I think the biggest key here is, you mentioned this place is the 16 on fuel. Okay, so you mentioned, as everybody knows, this place, it's high side dominant. Well, what's that mean? You're going to be rim riding all the way around here, meaning keeping it out of the wall is going to be your first key. You get up in that outside wall, you're going to lose time. You may run the risk of getting run over from behind by guys running up there. There's a lot of guys running up around the top of the racetrack, so that's going to be a big key. It is going to be fuel mileage from what we're hearing. 16 laps of fuel, I know that you get in the tank. Stage 1, I can confirm, will be 19 laps. You're going to have to save 3 laps of fuel. As Gavin, I don't know if it's just me, my audio is cutting on stream.
Well, the bit rate is pretty low right now at the moment, so we could try something, but It ought to fix itself towards later. Normally when the bit rate is low, that's when it starts to do that. So hopefully that bit rate gets better. But I think we're able to join now, right? All right,
Yeah,
we're going to go down to the track and to present y'all some fantastic truck racing out here at Kansas.
Well, guys, we've been talking about the high line, but remember, there are some areas where you can pass, and the areas, I believe, if I'm not wrong, is going to be going into turn 3, going into turn 1, and if people can do it correctly, coming out of turn 4, you can make a pass work on the high side or the bottom lane there, guys. So it's going to be interesting how fast you can, I guess, maneuver around this field to make your truck the fastest it can be on that high line. But everything will have to come off that high line with a very big rush of momentum, guys.
I'm going to do a quick leave and rejoin of the party, and I'll be back very shortly. Hopefully it fixes the issue here. So
gotcha.
Give me a minute, and I will be back to the party. Alrighty, guys. Before the race gets started here, going to get back into the party with Dark Abyss and K Arctic Fan. So we're back already. Let's see if that.
Hang on, I got to uncheck and recheck audio.
About to go green here, and I believe Asylum sits on the pole and
Vinny, where'd you
on the
load
bottom of the track.
Okay, there we go.
Even though you're able to select lanes, kind of odd to start on the bottom here, but looking to go green as we reach that yellow restart box. We're green here in Kansas, and the bottom lane is going to roar into turn number 1. The 6 leads here at Kansas with the 50 and the 68. 6 looking to get that outside dominance going quick, but through 1 and 2, that bottom does carry enough speed to where, like you just saw, the 50 can get a good lead. So maybe the 6 wasn't really thinking about it, or maybe he's trying to get some extra laps out of riding behind the 50, but we'll see how this strategy will play out for him. So the 6 car is going to run second, and Trippy Trick's already out to lead the first lap here at Kansas.
Yes, indeed, as you're going to see him run that high sign, try to rim line, I would say the Kyle Larson line or the Reddick line, however you want to see it. But right now, that is the line everyone's going to use. The question is Asylum's going to try to make a move, or he's going to be patient into turn number 3. He's going to be patient as it looks like Trippy is still on the wall, inches from making contact, but will still keep the speed at a turn 4. Some cars hit the wall and the truck is in the dirt there in Kansas. That's going to be interesting to see a little dirt driving Kansas people as they go into turn number 1. It looks like it's a 3-car breakaway right now, Kevin.
Indeed, and I want to, oh boy, big moment for the 50 truck there. Keeps it going. Looked like in the wall, maybe a little bit, something happened there. But look, I didn't get to give you guys a full breakdown of this because I was trying to get some stuff done the last minute. I was rushing a little bit. But look, there's a couple of things about this racetrack that I think should be pointed out. Obviously, we know the Highline's dominant. We know there's going to be fuel saving. In fact, we are pretty sure that the 50 is not saving, whereas the 6 is. I think that's why you saw the 6 drop back so quick there. But the one thing that is interesting about this place, Gavin, you being a lot more skilled than I am and have running custom setup races here before like this, we're on high draft tonight. What that means, it's a hard track to pass at, very hard. One of the hardest in the game because, usually, even if it's a one-lane racetrack, you're usually running around the bottom. People can mess up and slide up the track. You can move them, whatever. You don't have that option here. You're running around the outside. So you have to rely on the draft, and I think probably the most fun part of this track is coming off of turn 4 because you carry a ton of momentum, and you have an extremely wide front straightaway. You see most guys will go down even on that very wide apron to make moves on. They use that draft. That's probably the most fun part of this racetrack. I also would like to point out, by the way, just as a fun fact, and I love night races, this is only the Truck Series third night race of the season. Most recent one, of course, was Charlotte, and we opened up at Daytona. We haven't had a lot of night races. Not that really matters a ton, but it's fun. But, as far as passing here, obviously you have the guys saving fuel, which makes things a little bit interesting. I know I saw the 6 and a couple other guys just a second ago, moving around a little bit, which you don't see here often, but you do see it, and the fuel saving kind of helps that. But again, the passing here, it's at a minimum, and the draft is very key in that, Gavin.
Yeah, and the draft being on high gives drivers opportunities to build a run up going into the corner and get a massive slide job. Now, it's very hard, and you have to be precise to make that certain move happen. But if you fail, it could end up in a big wreck. A pile up. Cars are going to be destroyed that way. So it's one of those things that it's a double-edged sword. You got to worry about how you're going to do all that and manage to keep all the other drivers clean. But right now, Graham Cracker leading up front in that 68 Rackley Roofing Toyota Tundra. Right behind him, the 6 of Asylums, and right there in third, that looks to be Trippy Tricks. Fourth, the 38 truck, and fifth, I believe, is Mr. Track Bar.
Yes.
So top 5 kind of really close together here, and I wonder if some of these guys are saving. I believe some of them are, and some of them are not. So we'll have to see. And the 6 really is going to be saving a good bit of fuel here with the 68 in front. But it looks like the 68's trying to give up the lead to try to save some fuel now. He's going to fall back probably to 5th, and the 50 is going to assume the lead now, who I believe we heard earlier wasn't saving fuel as much. So that works out for the guys behind him. But the 50 going to cut back up to the front and continue to lead. Will the 6 go for the lead? He will look, but it's not going to be open. 6 still saving right now. These top 5 are right under a blanket per se, as they are right together. The 50 gets loose. That's going to give the 6 the lead. 50 is going to come down to pit road. He doesn't have enough fuel to make this stage, so he's going to have to come down and get some fuel here. But 6 car back out front, and I wonder how, without this draft, is the 6 car going to be able to make it there, Abyss? Do you think?
I don't know. It's very hard to say when you're out front. It's even harder when you're one of the fastest trucks out here. But right now, you're going to see him try to use, I think, that bottom line or midline or something there to save some fuel. But he really needs that draft to truly save the fuel he needs. As I think Grand Cracker showing his way, he's coming down pit road this time by. So trucks are picking him. They cannot make it. I think Asylum's is slow. Never mind, they're going very slow. But he's just saving right now. But that's the key. As another top 5 driver comes to pit road, the question is, out of the top 3 now, who can make it the rest of the way? Between OK Sideways, I believe that's Mr. Trackboard in the 24, and Asylums, as Asylums continues to run that very, very low line around this racetrack, Kevin.
Indeed, and again, of course, you mentioned the shorter distance around the racetrack. This is one of those places where, like I mentioned a couple of times now, you're running the highest side, but that's also the longest way around the racetrack. It's where you carry the most speed, but you're running a longer distance around the racetrack. What makes you so fast that there's the momentum that you carry off the corners with the way that the progressive banking is here at Kansas. But running that shorter distance around the racetrack, aka running a lower lane in the corners, that'll help save fuel. The other thing that most of these guys, as we talk about all the time with these custom setups, have at their disposal, if they choose to work it into their setup, which most do, is the legendary fuel save gear. You pop it into another gear where you run lower RPMs, hold a close enough speed. I won't say it's exactly the top speed, but you're running a competitive enough speed to where you don't lose a ton of time and you save fuel by running lower RPMs. That's really the main way to save fuel, but you do mention, the shorter distance. That does help quite a bit, especially here at Kansas. And I will say it's making a little bit of side-by-side racing, which is hard to get here. Kansas is your leaders. When they get back to the line, it'll be 5 laps to go. The one thing is, though, how long is it going to take these guys to save the fuel? Who can break out of that fuel save gear, that fuel save mode first, and begin to distance themselves away from the rest of these guys? That's going to be the other race here, Gavin.
Right now the race is fuel mileage, and that pack behind them starting to catch up. I believe that pack consists of Graham Cracker, Yeti, and I believe that's the 13 right there behind them. So you see how slow these guys up front are running. This is going to be pretty insane when we watch these cars that took fuel like the 68 blow right by them, and we're going to see if they can do it. But the 38, the 6, and the 24 running extremely low RPMs, running extremely slow. The 6 isn't going to make it. He's going to dip down the pit.
Wow.
It looks like the 24 and the 38 are going to try to take a gamble here. And 2 of the best at doing what they do here, saving fuel and figuring out, when it's time to go. 4 laps remaining in this race right now as Graham Cracker's going to look to split the middle, and I believe that's for his lap. So he's going to try to get his lap back. And
by the way, I should point out,
now in the lead. 24 is in the lead, Kevin.
Your top 2 drivers here, of course, the Asylum's one of your left drivers. Your top 2, the 38 and the 24 there, neither of those guys are playoff drivers. So if they can bring this home in the stage here, they're taking two potential spots away that are worth points for playoff drivers. So keep that in mind as well. With the way all this is shaping up, this playoff battle is very much in play here with only 2 races left. So that's going to be something to keep an eye on too as we go throughout this race, is where the fuel puts everyone.
Well, here's an interesting thing. It looks like track are starting to actually race and using the eye line as OK Sideways continues to use that bottom lane. The question here comes to 2 to go. This is it. None of them take the pit road, and the leader sees 2 to go. So that's going to be interesting. Can Track Bar make it? But he's racing Graham Cracker right now. Graham tries to use that the inside line to his advantage of the fresh tires, but it's not good enough for that outside line. OK Sideways kind of faded and trying to save as much fuel as he can to make it back around. I think Track Bar has it right now, Gavin, coming to 1 to go.
Yeah, and as we come down to the white flag here, Graham Cracker is obviously going to fight for his lead lap here, but Graham Cracker doesn't have anybody that he really needs to worry about, so he's just kind of looks like he's sagging off. Track Bar, though, is going to try to make a sprint back to the line. So this could play into many different drivers' hands, like, for instance, if the 68 gets his lap back, Trippy Tricks might be the one to get his lap back under yellow, so he's really hoping and praying the 68 will make something happen here, but it doesn't look like he's going to. Track Bar coming out of turn 3 and now out of turn number 4. Here comes Track Bar to the start-finish line. He will win stage number 1, taking the stage win here at Kansas. Graham Cracker just comes up short of getting his lap back, but he will get it under yellow. So Graham Cracker will get his lap back going into the next stage, Kevin.
Indeed. Now, the one question I do have as well, and Trip, you'll be able to see this, is how many cars are going to wind up left on the lead lap after this? Obviously, the 24 and the 38, both of those guys we know stayed out, so it sounds like maybe 9 cars after Graham gets his free pass will end up on the lead lap. 10th place driver Trippy Tricks in the 50 will be the first car 1 lap down. So this is interesting. Again, we saw guys that we thought were going to be able to make it. They tried to make it, had to pit, and we saw some other guys that were able to save a little bit more, like Track Bar, like the 38, and of course much of your top 10 were able to save enough and make it, and that really shook this race up. And especially again I stress, 2 races left until we set our Final 4 here tonight, and then of course next Friday night at Homestead, Miami, which I can't wait for. I love that place, but there is a lot of pressure. We got through the wild card at Watkins Glen last week, and now it's really the race to those couple of races as far as trying to make it. So it's going to be fun to watch here with this stage 2.
Yes, indeed. As here they come. It's going to be Track Bar OK Sideways to restart stage number 2. Here they go. Track Bar going to defend that inside line. Heavy going into turn 1. OK Sideways going to be battling with. I'm not sure who that is. Exit there. Just Cause trying to take second place away from Sideways, and does at turn number 2. The question is, can anyone chase down Track Bar? He had a calm stage 1, didn't show much speed. But now he has to show everything as he takes that bottom line around turn number 3 and 4. And will come out of turn 4 to lead lap 1 of stage 2, Kevin.
Yeah, Track Bar definitely showing his speed here and really making some
6 in trouble.
Happen. The 68 as
a calamity in the back.
The 68 and the 6, both of them spin there. That might be a yellow. We'll see though, as the game is still going to not throw out the caution. The 24 breaking the draft down the backstretch. It looks like he might be saving. He's using that bottom lane, guys, and he's really looking to take the shortest distance around the track. Looks like the 24 is saving, and Kevin, just like you said earlier, we go to Homestead next week, and right after that we go to Las Vegas, and what a way to send off the season with what I believe are the 2 best tracks in the game, especially the most raciest tracks. So we're gonna see here as the 24 and the 38 now battling for the lead. And Trippy, I said Homestead and Las Vegas for your correction there, sir. Maybe you should focus on driving. But the battle for the lead continues to square off, Kevin.
No, definitely. Look, first of all, I love night races. ask anybody, I'd probably love them too much. But we closed out with 3 night races after not having a ton throughout the season. And again, I would say we kind of have to suffer through one, and I know that may not be a popular opinion or something I should say on stream, but I think it's a pretty mutual opinion that as far as entertainment factor and racing quality, this place isn't the best in the game, unfortunately. And I will say it's unrealistic because realistically, you should be able to use every single lane of this racetrack. And you can't do that. The high side to me is way too dominant here, and it's unfortunate because this place is capable, realistically, of putting on amazing racing. And unfortunately, it doesn't do that with the way the game is. But regardless, we'll get through this one. And I'll tell you what, it's been a pretty good race so far. It's been pretty entertaining, albeit with some strategy kind of thrown in to help that. But again, the next 2 weeks, we've got Homestead. Final race until we start our Final Four. That's a huge race for these guys. It's going to be what sets up the fight for the championship. Multi-groove racetrack, you get some strategy there, you get some tire wear, these trucks get loose coming off, especially turn 2. I love it. It's not a cookie cutter, it's unique. I love Homestead. Then, of course, Las Vegas to settle the championship. I mean, what better track could you ask for? Every lane works at that place. It's almost dead. Even some of the best races I have ever called as a commentator since I've been doing this have been at Las Vegas. Quite a few of them, in fact. You also have the very unique bumps that give that place character. So I don't think we could settle this on any better track.
Well, I guess Kansas is one of my favorites in the game. To be fair, I love it. I love it. It's also,
I mean, it is your home.
Also my
track,
home.
So I guess.
It's also my home track. To be fair, I've also gone to this track more than any track I've seen in NASCAR. So I've seen a bunch of races here. But right now, the 2 and the 24 continue this great battle right now. High side and high side slide, trying to do a little slide up here, but they are pulling away from this pack right now of like a 3-car pack. Sorry, I thought it was more than 3, but right now it's a 2-car tango, then it's a 3-car pack. But right now, slide, jump, and track, Mr. Track, where they're both battling hard.
Oh my goodness.
Going into turn number 3, Gavin.
Wow, some hard battling going up here in 1 and 2, but I want to take a look back in third. That's Rise back there sitting in third. He's been quiet all season, and maybe we'll be able to see him up here in the front more often. But now he's running in third with 9 to go, and I think he has been saving. So he is on the strategy that everyone else is, and it would be a great thing for him to showcase his abilities here at Kansas and possibly come home with some stage points. Gets a little loose there, so see if he can hang on here. But the battle for the lead might start heating up as the 2 and 24 trading some paint there last lap. We'll see if they trade fenders and bumpers and doors. But Kevin, this battle up front's been pretty exciting. What's your take on that?
It's been interesting. It definitely has. And again, you gotta wonder. First of all, I should point out, and I didn't point this out at the beginning of the stage, a little bit shorter stage here, only 17 laps. These guys only have to save about a lap of fuel. That's much more attainable of a goal. So that won't be as much of an issue. But I'm wondering, is the 50 trying to make his way up here and do this the old-fashioned way, getting that lap back? But I tell you what, it's a lot more feasible to do. You got to wonder, though, with these guys racing the way they are, how much are they saving? I mean, the 24 and the 2, you mentioned, they've been racing pretty hard, throughout the stage. So we'll have to see how much these guys can save while racing each other. And how about Rise back there? Hasn't been here, I don't think, in a couple of weeks. I don't remember. I know he hasn't been able to make all the races as of recent. He's one of the newer guys to the custom setups. He's learning, but he's having a great run here tonight at this.
Yes, indeed, right now, but I'm kind of interested in Strip here right now. This is a fantastic drive. He's a lap down, but I think Rise is in second place, so Rise is in second. That's actually a fantastic feat. I haven't seen much of Rise up front in the last couple races. I think last time I saw he was doing a good job was at Eldora, but I could be wrong. Ooh, as a 50-something, I don't know who that was.
54 maybe?
50-something. 54 is a red car. Hit the wall, turn 2, not sure who that was. But T-Glass there. This T-Glass hit the wall, but Rise having a fantastic race. I hope we can see him finish inside the top 3, but right now trying to chase down Track Car is the 4 of Rise. It's going to be an interesting battle if Rise can get the Track Car, Gavin.
Yeah, the battle definitely needs to start heating up. I would love to see a battle between one of the young guns and one of the seasoned vets up front. And I want to say just a quick apology for the stream quality. I don't know why it's staticky. I just checked it. Got about 5.7 thousand bit rate, so it doesn't make sense to me. It could be Twitch, but I have no idea why it's being staticky. We did everything we could prior to the stream, so the 24 though back out front. The Ford trying to chase him down. Rise is going to do everything he can to at least hang on to these 9 stage points, and like I said earlier, what a cool thing it would be is a red card takes a dip down, and Rex, gotta see who it was. Maybe it was Drew. I don't know who it was. It looked like a red car, and the only other red car is T-Glass, and I did not see anybody hit the wall, thankfully. So back up front, Track Bar remains in the lead here as we get back to him. Track Bar, where he at? There he is. Track Bar still up in the lead, extending it a little bit. And it looks like Trippy Tricks right now sitting in third on track, but he's P9 with the free pass right now in his hands.
I didn't see who spun. Somebody went around.
I'm trying to get to it. I can find it. I can't
I don't
find
see
it.
anyone.
Well, I heard a truck spin, but I didn't get the camera.
I'm gonna make people seasick trying to flip
Maybe
all
he
these
might have been
cars.
material
But
zero
Kevin,
because he's on pit
Track
road.
Bar,
I'm not sure.
Track
though.
Bar has extended his lead about half the straightaway. Do you think anybody has anything for the 24 right now? I mean, he is just extremely far ahead of second place, which is TBR Rise, or Young Rise now, and Track Bar just looks like he's on rails, Kevin.
I mean, it's tough to say. I have funny feelings. We hit the white flag here. Track Bar looking like, with 1 lap left, this is probably his, unless he makes a massive mistake. But again, obviously I would assume he's all done saving fuel as the rest of these guys are. But this is one of Track Bar's best tracks. This is a place that suits him very well. So I can't say I'm surprised to see him doing this. Every time I've seen him come to this racetrack, he seems to just wax the field. Oh!
For you guys that don't know, the battle behind second was between Yeti and Trippy for the free pass. I don't know why we didn't cover that. And Trippy ran out of fuel and had a flat tire coming to the green and white checkered and still managed to finish in front of Yeti. So Trippy gets the free pass. And
yeah, that's what Trippy needed right there. I mean, he cut down a tire heading to the line, and what better way to get your free pass back by using up all the equipment? I mean, I remember a quote from Rick Hendrick being, I don't buy these tires to not use them, so we're going to use every bit of tire we bring to the track, and that's what Trippy Tricks will be doing tonight. He'll be heading down pit road, grabbing another set of tires, and getting back to racing.
yeah, but they're on a tire budget. They need to use every tire they get.
We do have an interesting top 5 right now, by the way. Of course, Track Bar in the lead, not surprising. Rise in second, that's pretty cool. Third, how about Air Just Cause in that 5? One of your playoff guys, pretty long shot to make it, but he's having an amazing run tonight. And of course, you have Bauman, who we don't see all the time. It's stage 3 underway, and of course, guys like Idyllic Fungus and a few others up here as well.
Oh wow! Here we go. It is actually a Mr. Track Bar and a Young Rise starting the front rows. Rise having an okay start
you're
right
saving
there,
10
but
laps.
We'll still fall back down to 5th as Mr. Track Bar continues to pull the way. But here comes Air Just Cause and Bauman trying to chase down Mr. Track Bar into turn 3. Rise hits the wall into turn 3 as well. He's going to bobble them back. They're in a cluster in turn 3 and 4. But here comes Air Just Cause trying to clear. He does as they go into turn 1, Gavin. This is a fantastic start to phase 3.
Yeah, and I'm just getting to look at the chase cam of this 68 Rackley Roofing Toyota here. It is what we would call a cluster as Yeti makes a questionable move. Chops the 8's nose off a little bit there to the outside, trying to get in line, and that causes a little bit of a squabble there between a few of these cars, and we'll see here as the 50 getting on the bumper of the 68. 68 taps the wall a little bit there, but it looks to be all good as the cars continue to squirm, or the trucks, for lack of better words. Thanks, Toasted, for putting trucks into our minds here as as we continue to watch these trucks just put on a show. Oh my goodness, they're 3 wide.
They're trying to make it 4, maybe?
Look at Graham.
Oh.
Wow.
I'm sure that won't go
What a
over
move.
well.
What a move, to say the least. Splits the middle and got a little dirty.
Trippy.
He got a little dirty there, Kevin, and he's got his hands dirty and managed to get past the 6, who I don't think is on the lead lap yet, and
No,
still
he's
fighting
not.
to get that lap back.
Well, and I don't know either, and I don't know. I can tell you this, and I didn't fully see what happened. I know I was able to take a clip of it when it happened because I was watching the 6, but I wasn't really paying attention to my TV when it happened. Back in stage 2, when those guys wrecked very early, remember, they both wrecked at the same time, so I have a funny feeling that something, and I don't know exactly what it was, I didn't see the full thing, I just saw the aftermath of the 6 spinning down and then back up in the wall.
Oh, there goes a car. That put everyone in the wall, one car around.
If it's not,
No
then
caution.
the cautions are broken. Okay, well, they're just broken.
And we'll call that a NASCAR heat moment right there, as only I've been realizing the cautions in a lot of leagues I run in have just been pretty inconsistent. But look at who's leading now. Arizona Cuz makes his way to the front, and now the train on the outside of track bar. We might see track bar starting to fall down here. Is a lot of momentum. The 38.
Oh, yeah, in the
38
wall.
into the wall.
Sideways. Here comes Trippy. 3-1.
Wow, the 3. The 2 and the 38 make contact.
I gotta get back to these guys. I'm just trying to look for the
Trippy,
seal.
everyone's blocking. Good job.
Oh my goodness. Arizona Cuz continuing to lead. Wow, what a battle we have for second on back. Everybody Doran beating, banging here, and really using all of the truck here tonight. And these drivers obviously willing to use every little bit of what they are given here tonight. And Arizona Cuz finds himself out in the lead right now with the 38 tracking him down, and the 24 right there behind him. So we'll see. Can Arizona Cuz hang on? Is he saving? He is pretty good at saving, might I add, and we'll see if he can make something happen here tonight. But right now, you know he's got to be smiling leading this race.
35 to go, and this race keeps getting more interesting. There's 3 wide coming up a turn 2.
This is not what I expected.
Sideways to the lead. What happened at Kansas, guys? This is getting better and better as the race keeps going, Kevin.
Oh, contact for the back. They're all good.
That's the 13 there getting put in the wall. He's a little slow.
The 50 is having a whale of a run here. He got the free pass, had to start at the tail end of the field, of course, when you get that. He has gone back through the field up all the way to second place in about 5 laps, guys.
I was in the wall.
That's insane.
Trippy to the lead. Here comes the 2 into turn number 3. Will he try to do a slide
5 looks
jump?
low.
No. Trippy takes the lead for the first time, I think, tonight. The lap 1. Sorry, it's been a minute
I'm
since he's back
baffled
to the
of
lead.
what's going on.
Trippy's had the luck of lucks recently on this kind of green flag run. Went from the back to the front. And I want to say under 10 laps?
Oh, well under
10
10.
laps. My goodness. That 50 truck is
Wow.
flying off the shelf, people.
These guys are going crazy up here, making some crazy moves. Somehow they're making it stick. Slide job gets loose down there. He's in the grass now. Oh my goodness. Wow, that side job got extremely loose off the floor and gets down in the grass. Look at the momentum the 24 just carried down there to the bottom. He might actually cut off some of that lead the Trippy had. Now he's back in the draft. Oh my goodness, he just made the bottom have some speed there, something we don't typically see here.
Okay,
in Kansas.
sideways sends it in.
Sideways is going to try it. They're 3 wide for second.
Again.
3 wide for second. Yeti's going to get it. Wow, what a battle. what a
And
battle
he's trying to get his lap
that we
back,
got
actually.
there. And actually the 17 is a lap down. Thank you for the correction there. But either way, some epic racing going on up front. Whether it's for position or not, these guys are going all the way, pedal to the metal here, going after each other. It's pretty insane to watch up here. So can't
Pit
wait to
stops
see
near.
the battles continue to heat up front.
You know, while things keep heating up, I'm going to throw a little bit more fuel in the fire, and I'm going to sneak one under Kevin. I'm going to do ones to watch, and I'm going to take
Look at
the
this guy.
low-hanging
Look
fruit
at this guy.
of Trippy Tricks to take the checkered flag. I'm going to take Trippy. I'm taking Trippy. He's
Well, Trippy,
flying.
you might win now because Kevin didn't pick you. Kevin, you.
Hey, he won last Saturday.
Kevin, we
Oh,
let you
boo.
pick him, to
Yeah.
be fair. We let you.
Yeah, we let you pick him. We didn't. We gave you
Oh, I
the
stole it
opportunity.
before you. Never mind. Anyway, we'll have this debate later. Continue with the segment.
So I believe we'll hand it over to Gavin
next.
to take
Oh, wait,
the next
Oh,
pick.
oh. No. I get next.
Yeah, I was gonna get
I'm
you
gonna
next.
go with someone who might just be the obvious pick as well, and a guy who is definitely one of the best at heat, probably the best to race on NASCAR heat. I think it's the obvious choice. It's got to be the 24 of Mr. Track Bar tonight. I mean, the dude is just off the wall every single time he steps out, or virtually steps out onto the racetrack. You know, the 24 just carries extreme speed through here. He's showing that the bottom actually can work. He's been cutting that. He cut the lead down with using the bottom, and he's also saving and still in second, guys. So 24 is going to be my pick tonight. Kevin, we bully you a ton, and now you get to pick last.
Yes, and yet again, I guess I had the opportunity there, and I gave it away. But as pit road opens here, we got a lot that could happen. But I could, double up on one of these guys, but that's no fun, right? So even if I lose, hey, it's I'd rather this be entertaining for all of us than just have the same person. But he's been having a really good run, right? In fact, possibly the best he's ever had in RHRL. I know he's slipped back a little bit. He's pretty smooth, though, when it comes to pitting and that type of thing, and some of these other guys aren't always, especially the 24, sometimes ends up with mistakes. I think I'm going to go with the 5 truck, there just cause. He's been, he's had the best run all night that he's had this season. He's been running inside the top 5 very well. I'm going with that 5 truck for maybe a little bit of an underdog story, as pit road, very busy.
Track Bar, though, still out on the racing surface. He hasn't come down pit road. He is actually 2 laps to the good of, so far as we know, of Trippy Tricks and those who came down on that lap. So he's got about, he's going to have a couple lap fresher tires here. And it doesn't look like he's going to be coming down anytime soon, but we'll have to see here. Does Track Bar bring it down this lap? And it looks like, no, he's going to continue to stay out. Oh my goodness, Track Bar really looking to stretch this fuel here, and with the speed that Track Bar has and fresh tires, this could be a concoction mixture for nothing but the craziest speed here in Kansas tonight as he paints that yellow line, saving all the fuel he can. Track Bar still out in the lead right now. He doesn't want to lose a lot of time out here, but Track Bar's just out here having fun right now, guys.
And Dayton,
Oh, sorry.
let me break down exactly what Track Bar's options are here. And I didn't think anybody would do this, as it looks like now he heads to pit road, so interesting. Maybe not doing exactly what I was about to say, but I'll go over it anyways. So let's put it like this. First of all, this place is pretty hard on the tires with the way you run here. You're pretty aggressive up high, you use a lot of throttle, and you're kind of doing a lot. It's a little bit sideways maybe. You're trying to keep it off the wall, so that eats tires. Let's see what happens. What I thought Track Bar might be trying to do was trying to save about 5 laps to run, because you're about 10 laps short of making it on 1 stop. So most people, it's a 2 stop. Track Bar went about 3 extra laps, or maybe 4, 2, something. I don't know. Point is, he's gonna have to save somewhere about 7 to 8 laps of fuel on this last run. I don't see that happening without him possibly falling well back in the field, and with the tire wear that we have, I don't think that it'll be worth it. So the 24 Track Bar very well may have taken himself out of this race, but he does have a ton of speed underneath that Chevrolet Silverado. We'll have to see if the speed can overcome the strategy call or not, but very interesting play here by this 24 truck. I'll be very shocked if this works out for him, Gavin.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a tough bit of saving to do. Leader, though, is the number 50, who looks to have some lappers in between him and the rest of the gang back there, second and on. But we'll see here as Track Bar back there. I'm looking from the
3
nose
wide.
of Trippy Tricks. They're like 4 wide coming off that corner. I kind of want to get to looking at that. I mean, that's just absolutely insane that they're doing that. Look at this massive pack right here. It's the 38, puts the 2 in the wall. Leader sticks him in there. The 5. The 5 rear ends the 68. The 2, all of them. Nose to tail. Oh my goodness. Kevin's pick has unlucky events. What a surprise there, Kevin. You cursed the 5.
But as I was gonna say
Kevin did it to
before Kevin
himself.
wanted to put rant, is
I
that
don't
I
want to double
like
down.
Track Bar's move, but he's running that bottom line as Trippy was using the third line and not saving any fuel, so that gap is not surprising on how big the gap is. The question is, how fast can I guess Track Bar close the gap and continue to close it as he finally makes the move on OK sideways to take, I believe, 5th. Now, he's in 2nd. Those are laps. Oh.
Actually,
They're not too far away from each other.
I do want to point this out about the 24 because I just broke this down a little bit more in my head here. So, while at first this doesn't sound feasible, with the fact that he's still gonna have to make a second stop, I don't see him saving 8 laps of fuel. I do want to point this out. You get 16 laps on the fuel tank, and he pitted with about 24 laps to go. So that'd be 8 laps, right? Well, you have to think he could also, a little bit further.
The 99 ran out.
Well, that changes
Wow,
things.
what just happened to the 99? Wow.
How much damage does he have on that thing?
The 99 definitely just put a dent into the nose there of the 24. You hate to see it. And there's nowhere the Track Bar could have possibly went. He's still in 2nd, so the damage might not have been too bad. It looked really bad on Spectator, but the inconsistencies
we'll
from
take
the
more
actual
fuel,
race to
though.
Spectator do happen. But Track Bar might only have to take a can, so maybe his strategy is, hey, I got enough speed, I can get up here and maybe shorten my pit stop.
Factor in the tires
end
as
up
well.
winning the race on that. And he's got fresher tires. So yeah, just like you said, Kevin, we got to factor that in. He's going to have 3 to 4 lap fresher tires on Trippy Tricks as well. So we'll see if Trippy Tricks here, who might be lining up a strategy call here, and that might either win or lose him the race. So these two strategies going head-to-head right now at Kansas, guys, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how these pan out. But Track Bar looks to be closing the gap still, even though that little incident about 2 laps ago happened, unfortunately for him.
Indeed. I do want to point out as well, by the way, that there was also a pretty large window. Again, I mentioned these guys were about 10 laps short of making it on on just one stop. So, they kind of had 10 laps there to wiggle room to use, for everybody, not just Track Bar, but everybody in this field. So, that'll throw some interesting strategies in this as well. For example, the option to short pit, which I'm hearing the 50 might be looking to do, and I'm sure some other guys are looking at that as well, while Track Bar maybe just ran his fuel out, so let's keep that in mind as well. A lot of options here on the table with that many laps of wiggle room with the strategy and the fuel.
Well, I'm gonna modify a saying that our little friend group likes to use, but I think the turkey's stuffed full of strategy. The strategy stuffed the turkey enough. But right now,
I'm wondering if you got that from the Twitch chat.
I did. I saw it. I had a run with it.
Hey,
But the
you know what?
question is, it's pretty much the battle between the 50 and 24, and I think the 38 might be in the strategy as well. It just depends on what he can do. As now it is, I believe Trippy should pit with one more lap or 2. So this is going to be a very interesting to see what's going to happen. It's between 3 trucks, but Trippy has a gap, I believe, with 2.5 seconds. But I could be wrong.
Wow.
7A, here we go.
You need to play the lottery, Abyss. First taker on pit road was the 8 and the 50 headed in this lap.
So this is the gap
You know,
right here.
something-
Remember, this is the gap between these two when Trippy enters pit road. This is the right now. We got to see what's going to be the gap once all these cars pit. That's going to be the big question. And can Track Bar chase Trippy down? That's going to be my argument right there, Gavin.
Well, I think with Trippy's entrance being a little bit slower, Trippy just now making it into the pit road. Track Bar's already passed him. This is going to be an extremely close battle here, and if Track Bar takes a very aggressive entry, which he likes to do, and manages to keep it from speeding, he might be able to, you know, pull something out of the hat here. But Track Bar now is in the lead, and it looks like he's just running it out. He's going to continue to push the car to its limits here, and the 24 really looking fast. He's got the 38 right on his tail, though, who I believe is for position. So,
Yes.
battle for the lead still
Keep in mind.
right now.
Damage.
Yeah, you can't forget about sideways. You
Oh, you
cannot
can't keep
forget
him.
about
You have to
sideways
keep in mind
right there.
too. 24 has a little bit of nose damage. That could be hurting him a little bit. You know, as far as the 38, but also, I guess the other question would be for Track Bar, and this is a decision he'll have to make as far as, you know, how much does he feel it's affecting the speed of that 24 truck. When he pits, remember he got into the back of the 99 pretty hard. There's some nose damage there. I know I can see a little bit. Does he, as he comes into pit road now, will he repair that damage?
No,
It was really
this is the
fast pit
strategy.
entry there by the 24 there, so we'll see
That's just been his
if he
Achilles
got
heel.
clocked for speeding. I'm worried if he did or not, but he got in there a fairly decent speed. He might have made it there. I know that if you he extended it a little bit, so
Please hand me this win.
We'll
Please
see
hand me
here.
this win.
we're gonna watch Trippy because I'm gonna keep a mental clock on how Track Bar is doing.
Sideways
Trippy
just came
Tricks,
into pit
though,
road. I'm
looking
not sure if anyone else stayed out.
to get the lead back there. Look who's behind
Oh!
Trippy right now. I don't think he's
Wait,
on the lead
24
lap, but the 6.
What did the 24
And
do?
there's the gap between the 50 and 24 coming out of pit road.
That felt very fast.
But the gap is definitely bigger. I would say about 3, maybe almost 4 seconds is the gap. Is it? Looks bigger.
About a half a second difference there is what the 50 gained through that.
You know, I wanted to talk about the 6 here. You know, he's a lap down. He hasn't been having the greatest night, and for his truck playoffs, that isn't what you want to hear from him. But right now, he is the buffer between the 50 and the 24. If that gap continues to close, or if it even starts, that will be a major factor if the 6 moves out of the way or just keeps it in the line. We'll see. We'll see if the 24 can make something happen here. He's got to start climbing back into this race. He is second, and he's looking to pull, but the 6 could make or break the race for either of these guys here tonight. And, you know, the 6 definitely a cleaner driver by everyone's standards, I would say. He typically doesn't race anyone dirty, and we'll see if he moves out of the way for the 24 if Track Bar does happen to get there. Or we'll see if he stays right in line and maybe even helps the 50, which is what we know is one of his good buddies. So this could be the place where an ally helps out. So we'll see how this goes. 8 laps to go.
Indeed, and I tell you what, we haven't gotten a chance to do it yet, and we got about 8
Hit
to
the
go.
wall.
Oh! That changes things. Well, while this closes down, what do you say we crank these things up and listen just to how fast and how close to the wall these guys are going with a little bit of circuit diecast? Crank it up for a couple laps.
Let's go.
Ooh, for a couple laps. Yes, sir.
As Trippy brings him out of turn 4, coming down to the line. 5 laps to go at Kansas. Track Bar has closed this down, and I'm very interested as well. I don't know if you guys looked at it a whole lot. Track Bar's running a very interesting line through the corner as well. So I don't know how this is going to go. Of course, Gavin, we know this. Getting there is one thing, and especially at this place, passing is a whole other thing.
Yeah, but I mean, you got to factor in Track Bar is able to use that bottom line to a certain extent. He can cut a lot of the time using that line, especially in a last-ditch move. And he also does have 3-lap fresher tires. That's also a factor. And he also, if he timed it right, might be right there on fuel and might be able to make it and have the lowest fuel in his truck, lightening up the truck, making it a little quicker. He also has the draft. The draft is on high, so that means he's going to be able to pull in. And right now, it looks like he's just waiting for the right moment to strike. Asylums is going to give him the draft. He's going to try to use it here. Let's see if he can do something about this 50 and this 6 right here. This is going to be something as he goes to make the move.
He
sends it indeed. On the bottom.
And they stick it.
Looking to make the move.
Oh, look at the momentum, though.
They're side by side.
Oh, contact.
Oh, and the 6 is going down and giving the 24 the draft. Let's see what happens. 6 might be getting out of the way here as the 50 gets really close to the wall. The 24 looking right below him here with help of the aerial footage here that we got. It's going to be close. They're tapping. They're tapping. The 50 comes down a little bit and the 24 goes up a little bit. The 24 now in the lead. The 50 taps the wall. Can the 24 clear the 6 now? That's the real question. That 6, like I said earlier, could play a major factor, and right now he kind of is. As the 50 gets right back up into the lead, the 24 is going to have to reevaluate his attack here, Kevin.
And he's driving that truck so hard. You saw him tag the wall there not long after that, so he's got to be careful with that. And he's coming around to the white flag. He has 1 lap to do this. I tell you now, the 50's got a lot of pressure. I think if he can hold this outside line and just carry the momentum well enough, this Track Bar has a big run, he might be able to take it.
Casey, what is it going to do? The 50 and 24 side by side contact.
Well,
wow, what a way there. I believe the 50 hits the seam there, but wow, what a way there to finish that race. The 50 and this 24 get together, and the 24 might actually be out of fuel there.
Oh, he's around.
He gets ran over close to the line. Lap cars are wrecking.
Oh, boy.
I think he left.
And it looks like the 24 left.
Track Bar left.
Oh. Maybe,
I'm not sure what just happened there, but Vinny takes the dub here at Kansas.
This is going to be fun to hear. I don't even know who the top 3 is because the 24 left, so we'll have to see. How about T-Glass and the 54 coming up with a very quiet 3rd place? We didn't really. The only time we talked about the 54 today was when he tagged the wall earlier on in the race. He comes up very quiet, P3. But the other thing too is Trippy needed, and again, it's still going to be a long shot. But if any race he could win, and by the way, this is his 2nd Truck Series win, 3rd ever RHRL win, it would be here tonight. He now has to come up. He now, as I hear Air Just Cause very happy with the run he had tonight, but you know, the 50 truck of Trippy, he needed this race. He needed a good run. He needed to win. He was a pretty long shot to make the Final 4 coming in here. He had a pretty big points deficit. He now leaves here tonight, and he will definitely close that down. The 2nd and 3rd, or at least 2nd place driver of Sideways was not one of your playoff guys. And then you look, quite a few of the playoff guys had some off nights, and even some of the ones that had good nights, like the 5, were very far out and were really, I would say, a threat to the 50s. So this is going to be fun. Sideways. But either way, I guess Abyss wins that, so he'll get Trippy. But We're gonna get a word from all three of these guys in our Circle with Diecast Pro Series show coming up here in a minute. Stay with us.
Before we go on break, we gotta give us some shout outs to some drivers that didn't get the greatest finish, but we're all gonna think at Rise. He had a fantastic race, finished second stage one, so gotta give him tips and props before we go to a little commercial break.
Yeah, I think we got to also give Eric just some props there. Ran up front, and we got to see. We're gonna hear from these guys, but I can't wait to see how this is gonna shake up the playoff standings. But we're gonna take a quick minute or 2 minute break here, depending on how long it takes for us to get everybody in here. I believe everybody's
here.
Our break will be very short, probably about a 30-second break. Then we will be back here for our interviews. Alrighty, we are back here with our Circle B Diecast Winners Circle. I'm here with third place finisher T-Glass. T-Glass, run me through, how has your night been here tonight at Kansas? You come up third, you get that podium finish, and how has your night been tonight here at Kansas?
First two stages were savers, which, I mean, it's kind of boring. You just sit there and save and watch people pit and gain spots from it. I got some good stage wins. I don't know where I finished, honestly, in either of the stages. Stage 3, got stuck on the bottom for like the first 5 laps. People just kept sending it 3 wide on top of me. And then I ran in the back of some bum who put it in the wall. I think it was Rise. And then I thought my race was done at that point. I took a bunch of damage from that. I had to pit early, fix the damage, worked my way all the way back up to 4th after the last pit stop. And then once the tires wore out, me and Sideways had a nice battle last lap, side by side. Coming to the line, all of a sudden track bar's out of gas in front of us. He just pinches me right in a track bar. And then somehow track bar wrecked. I got to 3rd. I have no clue, but awesome last lap.
Yeah, the last lap as a whole, I'm sure from a nose to tail, the field was an epic battle throughout the whole field. We especially saw that battle there for the lead ended in an unfortunate way, but it seems as though if Track Bar was actually out of fuel, that would not matter as much because he ran out, it looked like, coming off of 4. So, T-Glass, you did great tonight. You come out 3rd. Explain to me how the car felt, or the truck felt, and run me through there how you managed to hang on there and claw through the field.
The truck was terrible. It was loose and was burning the right front. Um, just pure talent, honestly. to gain our way up through the field. But we just work our way, short pitting people, we pass them, and then we're just faster than them. So we just stayed in front of them, and then we just kept going up the field, and people make mistakes on pit entry and stuff. And then somehow it all works out. Just don't make mistakes, and it'll work out.
Well, T-Glass, congrats on the finish here tonight. Any thank yous you have for anybody that helps you get to where you have been today?
Nah, I'm good.
I hate that question. I'm gonna be completely honest. I hate that question. I go on a rant about it after every stream, but you guys heard it here from T-Glass. Type of Kyle Busch response. The truck was terrible. We finished third. I'd been happy about finishing third, but T-Glass tonight, he'll finish third, and track position being the name of the game for T-Glass here. Congratulations again on finishing third. K Harvick fans standing by with OK Sideways. Kevin, take it from here.
Indeed, course sideways, coming off a great race last weekend at Watkins Glen, becoming just the second driver to now win an All-3 Series. Won last Friday night here in the trucks at Watkins Glen. Comes out to the Midwest, only our third race under the lights this season, and has an amazing truck. That 38 was on rails. Led a few laps tonight, was running in the top 5 and top 3 most of the day. Sideways, you got a copy?
Yes, I do.
Man, I tell you what, you came in here, and I'll be honest, this isn't a place that I would have expected you to be quite as quick. I'm used to you maybe being a little bit faster on some of the smaller tracks and the harder braking tracks, but you really impressed me tonight. And that 38, I mean, it was you were flying in that thing. Obviously, there's a lot to unpack with this race, but I guess first, walk me through your race and how the truck was, because it seemed like it was, I mean, it was flying.
Well, you said the truck was on rails. I think it was the complete opposite. It was loose, then it was tight, then it was in the wall half the time. I don't know. I don't know if it was me or the track or the truck, but it definitely didn't have a solid 100% handle on it.
Absolutely, man. Well, I gotta ask. Obviously, we get down to stage 3, and some pit strategy kind of plays in. Maybe not what we were used to the first 2 stages with the fuel mileage, but more so along the lines of it wasn't really a saver, but there was a pretty large window as to when guys could pit to come down and make it on fuel still. We're about 10 laps short of making it on just one stop, so you had kind of 10 laps to work with, give or take, with when you decided to stop on pit road. So, what was your take for stage 3 with your strategy and what your intent was?
Once we got to old tires, I couldn't compete with people, so I decided I'm gonna take advantage of the new tires that I would get and stay out as late as I could. They would jump me on pit road, but I would hopefully get them back under green where we had that tire advantage, because that really played a factor.
Indeed, and I do have to ask. Obviously, I think you were probably running, I think, third place at the time when everything kind of went insane. But I don't know how close you were to what all happened in front of you. What were your thoughts though when you kind of saw the leaders get together when those guys were racing hard, and then especially coming down there to the line when track bar was slow at the end there?
I wasn't too worried about what was going on ahead. I was more just trying to keep the cars behind me, so I could talk to you guys. Top 3 is great. Wish you had like a podium type thing. It's always enjoyment. Um, yeah, but it was cool to see, up there. I'm not usually up there at places where you don't turn right, so it's definitely a first time. Definitely hoping to have more of these.
Absolutely, man. Of course, we'll see you throughout the weekend as well. Sunday night, you're in the Cup Series playoffs, so that'll be a big deal for you. But bringing it home, P2 under the lights at Kansas tonight. Any thank you, shout outs you'd like to give for a very solid run?
As always, the admins, T-Glass, Track Bar staying with me all night. I know it was a little bit of a rough spot. I'm not the best here, but we stuck with it and we made it work. Casey as well. We were all there. We all worked together. We all came through. Congrats to Vinny. You know.
Absolutely, man. Well, Again, congratulations on a very solid night and resulting with another P2, two top fives, actually two top two finishes in a row in the trucks for you. So, great way to try to round out the season. Of course, you'll take on Homestead next Friday in the trucks, but congrats on your finish here tonight.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Abyss, you have your pick, and I guess it would be fitting to say he had an eventful race. At one point in this thing, he was a lap down, but he drove through the field very well and never really looked back after that once he got back to the front and walks away with his second truck win, and you've got him with you.
Trippy, my brother, you got a copy, my friend.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, my mic is muted.
Trippy, man, your race was anything but, I would say, a picture perfect. You went from leading the race to going a lap down to battling, getting some contact, then to racing your way through the field one more time in stage 3 to end up taking the victory. Tell us how your stage 3 went.
The entire race kind of went like how it's been for the past couple weeks for us. It's been a roller coaster ride throughout the entire race, but stage 3 really we stage 1 we were just racing to have fun there. I wasn't trying to save the fuel. I can barely even make it. So I just got out to the lead, led a couple laps, screwed up, sat in the back pit. We finished second car lap down, so we had to start the lap down in the next stage. Stage 2 was very interesting for us. We sat in like P2 for a lot of, well, at least second in line for a lot of it, and coming to the checkered flag there in stage 2, we blew two of the right side tires out, and I was putting at the line, but we got back on the lead lap. And stage 3, I don't even know what happened. We started in the back, and it only took me about 7 or 8 laps, and lo and behold, I was back up front, and I actually took the lead. And after that, I knew I was just gonna have to short pit track bar. I saw them saving, so I knew track bar was gonna try to overstretch me. And we're lucky that he didn't take enough fuel at the end there, and he ended up running out. And I mean, we just had a fast car, and we put ourselves in a good spot there for the win again.
Did you think if Asylums wasn't there to help you draft off of him, or kind of buffer between you and Track Bar, do you still see yourself beating Track Bar, or was it just a very good help with Asylums?
Come to think of it now, the way I looked at how it ended up playing out, I think yes. And I'm not just saying that to sound cocky, but I mean, after the incident, I hit the seam off the corner. I hit him, even without Casey being there and making Track Bar move Casey up the track. He did end up running out of fuel, and I was good on fuel. So I think either way, it probably would have still worked out in my favor. But I feel like if Casey had nowhere really to go. I'm not trying to cover up for him, but Track Bar is battling me on the bottom. I'm running the high side. There's really nowhere for him to go unless he breaks under the apron and lets us both by, which is he doesn't have to do that, because maybe we were 5 to go battling, and the caution could have came out, and he could, instead of starting in the back on the free pass, he could have been right with the pack and where he's supposed to be and battle for the win. So you can't really put Casey at the blame. You can't really put him in the blame for, and you can't really give him the credit for me winning. You can't really give him the blame for Track Bar not winning. But he kind of had something. He had a little bit to do with that end of the race there, but it wasn't major to where Track Bar lost the race because of Casey.
Got your understanding there. I'm not gonna lie, I got a little scared for you because
I was scared too.
You and Asylums don't have the best history of racing each other clean on accident. Sometimes I got a little scared for you both there. That feels gonna hurt, but it worked out pretty good in both of your guys' favors. Again, congratulations on your win. Is there anyone you would like to thank for your victory tonight at Kansas?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Fry Dog, Toasted. They're always trying to help me get fired up and help me get these wins. They're always there for me. Shout out to Horatio. He congratulated me out of the oh my god, congratulated me after the race. There we go. Haven't really been to see much of him, but he's always been a really good friend of mine when it comes to me winning the races. Even after Auto Club, when I moved him out of the way in the last lap, he still had a lot of respect for me, and still was happy that I won that race. So it's nice to see them being happy for me again. Shout out to Track Bar. You know, it's not often that somebody like me gets to race with the best of the best every week and actually beat somebody like Track Bar. So I'm just happy we got to battle clean, and I I'm sorry for what happened on the last lap there. Got too low in the corner. I hit the seam. I kind of hit him. He didn't wreck it, but I still kind of feel bad for that about that. But I mean, I guess I guess it's a clean win because he ran out of fuel anyway. So I guess that's another one to add to the books, right? Shout out all the admins, Gavin, Kevin, Sideways, T-Glass, Toasted, Casey, Drew, Boog, Hades. You know, they're all great friends of mine, and they run a pretty tight shit around around this league, and it's they should deserve, they should get more oh my god, I can't even speak. They should get more recognition on what they do for us in this league. It's phenomenal for what they could provide for us every week, and the racing like this is all because of them. So shout out to all of you guys. Shout out to, again, Sideways and T-Glass for getting podium here tonight. I love hearing them speak in their interview. And shout out to Casey, good friend of mine. I was just trying to use him to help me. He wasn't intentionally there for me, but you know, it helped me in his favor, and he's always a good buddy of mine. So shout out to him. And shout out to Circle B Diecast. You know, we didn't really hear from guys talk about them that much tonight, and I'd just like to say, if you type in the code Trippy Tricks, no, I'm just kidding. If you type in RHRL, you get to save on free shipping for your next purchase. And lo and behold, if you're on Twitter and Kevin's following you, make sure you check your phone, because he will ping you if your favorite car comes out on Circle B Diecast, and he will spam you until you buy that car. So shout out to Circle B Diecast for always providing for us, and it was just a great race for us tonight.
Well, again, congratulations, Trippy, and hopefully you get to make it to the Final Four.
Yeah, I'd also like to point out right before you guys go that I didn't even realize this, and you guys probably didn't realize, but Gamer actually wasn't here tonight. So you guys heard me before the race. I was packing it in, but we are coming into Homestead. We're back into this. We're back into this thing to get into the Final Four.
Well, if you call that race packing it in, I'm afraid what you're gonna say when you gotta put the stuff down and truly put your mind to it, Trippy.
What I said about packing in was that I thought I gained last week and I lost points, so I was just gonna race for fun, race my hardest. I mean, I raced my hardest regardless, but I wasn't, I was just coming in here to have fun. And we got to win and actually put us in a really good spot. So we'll see what happens next week at Homestead. We have a good truck for it.
Well, gotcha. Congratulations again. We hopefully get to see you next week. Take a top 3, my friend.
Hopefully.
Well, Kevin, Gavin, we saw a fantastic Kansas race. If you guys can't like Kansas, guys, in that final stage was very entertaining. 3 wide through turns 3 and 4. We saw a bunch of people in the wall and an exciting finish to see to the checkered flag. I think this race had everything we're looking for today.
Absolutely. I mean, look, I'll be the first to tell you, coming into this race, I was expecting a single file train, maybe a few passes here and there, just because of the way the draft works. But like I said, this is one of the harder places to pass because of the line that you're on. I mean, it was still somewhat of that, and a lot of, we had a lot of fuel saving in the first 2 stages. I think that maybe helped with some of the racing we saw. But I mean, again, these guys were able to use the middle and bottom lines more at Kansas tonight than I've ever seen them be able to use in this game before. So, with that being said, I mean, we had an amazing finish. We got to watch Track Bar rather, close the gap down a ton on Trippy, and it made for a really exciting finish. Of course, we had battles all throughout the field. It wasn't just there, but that was the one we were paying the most attention to. Of course, again, up my alley is we had the strategy play out in stage 3. That was interesting, and as well as the first 2 stages. So a whole lot going on, and again, I think this will be another race with the way things finished out, and some of the guys higher up in points having a little bit of trouble. Excuse me, that the playoffs could get shaken up a little bit again. You heard Trippy talk about Gamer, and he's right. I did not realize it, and it's unfortunate for Gamer because he had a great run last week, but he was not here tonight. That's going to really tighten up the final spot battle again. So it'll be fun to see how things end up at Homestead next week. I cannot wait, and I think we might be able to see the points here in a second, but it's going to be really fun to see how tight this gets next week. Again, at one of the best tracks in this game. I can't wait, and I can't wait now. Maybe my hopes are up a little bit too high. With what we saw tonight, my hopes have been heightened a little bit for the Xfinity and Cup races later this weekend because I had the same expectations for those. I might have to adjust them a little bit. Hopefully, I don't change them around too much. But of course, before I give it to Gavin to finish things out here, I got to shout out, of course, Circle B for doing a great job, and being an amazing partner of ours this weekend or of the league. Let me do this real quick, but being a great partner of ours. Again, code RHRL at checkout on any purchase of $20 or more. As long as you live in the U.S., you'll get free shipping. You get to grow that collection, get that stuff to your house with no extra cost. Again, that does add up when you buy in bulk, as I've done before. So don't have to do that. Use that code, and great word by me. You'll won't have to pay for that. So make sure you do that. Of course, thank you to you guys for tuning in tonight as well. Again, that means so much to us all. Every time you guys show up and watch these things, these guys did an amazing job tonight. One heck of a show. And by the way, I don't think we had a single caution tonight either. I could be wrong. If we did, we only had one, but pretty clean race all in all. So great job, and I'm gonna shut up now.
Wow, that mic really seems to be cooperating with you there, Kevin. But I got some special news for all of our folks out here wanting to know if I can find it again. Goodness gracious, where's it at? Where'd it go?
They posted it?
Yeah, they did. I gotta find them again though. That's an F to pay respects if I can't. Is it in garage? Yeah, it is. Okay. So the point standings have been released as at Kevin's request. Kevin gets almost everything he wants, except for when we're in the broadcasts. So I'm going to read them off to you. The top four that are now currently above the cut with, I believe, 1 or 2 races left? I believe it's one to the cut. So Asylum's, even though he had a rough night, still brought it home in the top 10. Finishes plus 50. After this race, he'll be plus 50 to the cut line. Slide Job, plus 40. Graham Cracker will be plus 22. And here's where it really gets interesting. Fabico, plus 2 on the cut. Trippy, minus 2. Gamer, minus 3. And 8th in the playoff currently is Air Just Cuz, minus 28. So that is really a close battle there. I mean, you can say nobody's safe, but I think you can almost say with a okay race, Asylums and Slide Job will be good, and Graham possibly as well. But I think you got about 5 guys here battling for the last 2 spots, and it's only a matter of time. Just a week from today, we will be finding out who will be claiming those spots. And, it only gets more exciting from here, and I'm really excited to see how these truck playoffs pan out here. And that's what I think is really one of the more fun things of watching from the broadcast POV, and when you see the points roll out as a broadcaster, it's kind of interesting to see how the drivers' performances shake up the playoffs. Even in my own league, I can say that whenever I do the points, it's kind of interesting to see how they pan out, and I'm really excited to see how these trucks pan out. And we got some more racing tomorrow. Be sure to check in at 10 o'clock Eastern Time in the evening, of course, as we will be showcasing some of the best Xfinity custom setup action here right from the Red Hot Racing League. We will be back at Kansas again in some different type of vehicles. The Xfinity cars, I'm really excited to watch these guys. A lot faster cars. We ought to see a lot more spectacular moves, and we saw a lot of spectacular moves here tonight. So it's going to be really interesting tomorrow. A lot of high flying and a lot of quick speeds in these cars, and I can't wait to get back out to the track and watch these guys roll. But be sure to come tune in at this channel here tomorrow at 10 p.m. Eastern to get all of your RHRL Xfinity action. And until then, for Dark Abyss, K. Harvick fan, I've been Bert. Thank you guys for watching, and we will see you guys tomorrow. Thank you.